presence tonight, the empowerment of the seven Tara, the destroyer of adversities. So this is the seventh Tara out of the 21 Tara empowerment. And at the very beginning, please stay attuned, stay very present, bring your full attention, so it is not impeded by distractions or dullness and doubt, lack of interest and the like, but fully paying attention with a good intention that you are not going to receive this empowerment just for the sake of the ceremony, or just for the sake of yourself or this life. Instead, you should upgrade this intention that I'm going to receive this empowerment for the benefit of infinite sentient beings, and until the essence of enlightenment reached. So with that intention, if you stay very present in listening and participating in this, itself is an engaged practice of the Bodhisattva. So please stay present. And then the actual empowerment to receive this necessary preparation is concluded from my side. It's a teacher requiring himself to meditate in the form of that black Tara, the destroyer of all adversities. Of course, the real Tara don't see any adversities that exist out there, but sentient beings who are struggling to know their own thoughts or words or deeds often externalize some kind of adversities. So in order to crush this strong view, the Buddha's teaching teaches the suffering, the origin of suffering must be stopped. So external adversity is not the origin of your suffering. External adversity is a projection of your own unresolved inner adversity. That inner adversities are your klesha, your defilements. And so therefore, here we need to internalize the notion of the quality of black Tara is to turn a black face or a wrathful face towards yourself and crush those inner adversities that creates external adversities. To do this, receive this empowerment, first of all, we have to recite the Vajrasattva mantra. Please do that. Homage to the Blessed One, the glorious Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Vanavalaya Vajrasattva Nidunendu Membava Sudhajaya Membava Anurada Membava Subhajaya Membava Sarvaside Membava Sarvagama Sudame Jidam Shiraya Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhaga Sarvada Dangada Vajra Mame Manza Vajra Mazamaya Zado Om Vajra Zado Samaya Anubalaya Vajra Zado Denoba Denu Membava Sudhajaya Membava Anurada Membava Subhajaya Membava Sarvaside Membava Sarvagama Sudame Jidam Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhaga Savada Dangada Vajra Mame Manza Vajra Mazamaya Zadva Om Vajra Zado Samaya Anubalaya Vajra Zado Denoba Dizendenu Membava Sudhajaya Membava Anurado Membava Subhajaya Membava Sarvaside Membava Sarvakarma Sudam Jidam Guru Hong Ha Ho Bhaga Savada Dangada Vajra Mame Manza Vajra Mazamaya Zado. Delude of ignorance, I broken sacred vows. In the Guru and Master, the highest Vajradhara, essence of great compassion, foremost one, I take refuge. I confess all my transgressions, the root branch, vows of body, speech, and mind. I pray to the glorious Vajrasattva, please cleanse and purify all my cumulous negative deeds, mental obscuration of false failings and impurities. By this merit may I reach Vajrasattva stage 6 swiftly, and also lead to that stage each and every living being. So with that now, in order to receive this empowerment,
có thể thọ
I
nhận
need
quán
your full attention
chúng ta
with
cần
good
phải có sự chú ý
intention,
toàn tâm,
so that your mind is totally present.
tâm của chúng ta
In so
tập trung
far
vào giây phút hiện
as
tại.
sitting here,
Chúng ta
being
ngồi ở
present,
đây,
not
nơi
just
này,
for some ordinary worldly
không phải
interest, but you
chỉ
want
vì những cái
to
mong muốn
practice the
thế gian
Dharma,
mà muốn thực
and
hành giáo pháp
that is to benefit all
để
sentient
làm lợi lạc tất
beings.
cả
And
chúng sinh
particularly,
hữu
you're
tình.
going to receive this
Đặc biệt
empowerment
là con sẽ
of
thọ nhận cái quán đảnh này,
Tara, who crushes the
quán đảnh
external
Thánh Độ Mẫu Tārā,
adversities through her
để
practice.
hành,
In order to receive this empowerment, you
thọ nhận
must
cái
have
quán
a
đảnh
very
này.
good motivation
Con
that
cần
you are
phải
not
phát khởi
going
cái
to
động
sort
cơ
of
rất là
see
đúng đắn.
adversity, external adversity
để
to
thấy không thấy
people
những
and
cái chướng
things
ngại ở
as
bên
real,
ngoài.
but
Chướng ngại
rather
đối
they
với
are
con người ở bên
projection
ngoài
of
là sự
your
thật,
own
mà đó chỉ là sự phóng chiếu
inner adversities
của nội
in
tâm,
your own
phóng chiếu
mind
của
that you do
những
not know.
cái chướng ngại ở bên
So
trong tâm của con
as
mà
you
con không biết
hold
đến.
the umbrella, the shadow appears, doesn't it? So as
Khi
you
mà chúng ta
hold the
mở cái ô
umbrella
ra
of
thì
your
có
own
cái bóng
fear,
tối nó xuất hiện,
anxiety,
bóng dâm nó xuất hiện.
and
Những
insecurity, then
cái
it
tham lam,
appears
những
as
cái
there
mong
are
cầu, những
external
cái bất
people
ổn của chúng ta
who are after you or who
đi theo
are
chúng
causing
ta
harm
giống như
to
là
you.
một cái bóng
So
của
here
chúng
you're
ta.
going to generate
Ở đây chúng
altruistic
ta phát khởi
motivation.
cái động cơ
You're
vị
going to
tha
receive to
và chúng
conquer
ta
these
thọ
inner
nhận cái quán đảnh
enemies of
này
the
để
five
thắng,
afflictions
để chiến
and
thắng
so
được tất
on.
cả những cái nhiễm ô
So
ở trong
without
tâm của chúng
removing
ta,
this, we could not
loại
possibly
bỏ những cái
benefit sentient
chướng ngại
beings.
trong tâm của chúng ta.
So with this in mind
Với cái
and
tâm như vậy
motivation,
và với động cơ như vậy,
you generate the bodhicitta.
chúng ta phát khởi
The
và bồ đề
purpose
tâm.
of the subject that you're going to receive the empowerment
Mục
is
đích của việc thọ
the
nhận quán đảnh
Manutara
này là
Yoga Tantra THqədV empowerment
đây là
that
một
has
trong
come
những
down
cái
through the
quán đảnh
great
21
Indian
Độ
master,
Mẫu
the
Tara
SÜRYAGUPTA
từ đến từ
tradition,
bậc
who
đạo
himself
Thánh
has
Gia
received
Ấn Độ.
this from Tara, and then he promulgated
Người đã thọ nhận
to likes of his
cái giáo pháp
disciple
này từ chính
Atisha
Độ Mẫu
and the
Tara.
like. So therefore,
Do vậy,
this particular 21 Tara empowerment belongs to the
quán đảnh 21 Độ
Manutara
Mẫu
Yoga,
Tara này
which is transmitted by the
vô thượng
great
mật
Indian
truyền
masters
thừa từ
Pansida and
các
Pandita,
bậc đại thánh tín
the
giả của Ấn Độ,
SÜRYAGUPTA.
đặc biệt là ngài SÜRYAGUPTA.
So in order to conduct this empowerment, there too, the teacher should do the self-generation, friend generation, and then the recitation of the mantra in the pride of himself in the form of Tara, and radiating loving kindness and compassion towards all sentient beings. So teacher has concluded all the preparations. Now for you to be prepared, you should visualize that you are in the presence of the black Tara, who is embodiment of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So here, in order to receive this empowerment, you have to make a mandala offering, that is, holding some grains in between your palms, recite the mandala offering prayers, and then at the end you strew some rice in the air as a token of making offerings of your virtues in the form of the universe, by way of starting the actual empowerment. So here I'll chant the one verse mantra, mandala offering prayer that Lord Atisha wrote.
Do Tổ Atisha viết. Đất này tịnh hóa, nước thơm trải đầy hoa, trang hoàng quanh núi Tu Di, bốn châu và nhật nguyệt. Con quán tưởng thành cõi Phật và dân nguyện hết thầy chúng sinh
Omangaram Buddham Bodhisattva Sabare Varara Namandala Bujaming Samunda Zabaran Zamaya. So having made the mandala offering, now join your hands at the heart and repeat after me this request. O Vajra holder, please pay attention to me. In order to benefit sentient beings, I supplicate the great compassionate one to bestow upon me all the empowerment, to bestow upon me all the empowerment, to bestow upon me all the empowerment. So having made the make them request now in order to purify your mental continuum. Like when we put on new clothes, we wash your body. So in order to receive this empowerment, you've got to wash your mind straight of any sort of 5 root afflictions lingering in your mind. This can impede receiving the empowerment and keeping of the samaya. So therefore you need to purify your mental continuum. So for this, what do? You should think that you are in the presence of the resultant, wrathful, black Tara. She is surrounded by all the other 20 Taras, like a huge, you can see vividly every one of them. In feeling their holy presence, you should imagine also that with you are all sentient beings, with and against whom you have committed some negative deeds. You have a lot to reconcile, make peace with all those sentient beings. They all are present with you, and first of all, you do the 7-fold prayer 3 times. First of the 7 is confession. Confession of any wrongdoings and bad mouthing and bad thoughts, ill will, resentment. That you know that you have unconsciously done that in the past, but now when you come to your senses, you really wish you didn't do it. Here, instead of owing and arming, you just straight away confess that in the presence of all the enlightened ones, so that you no longer have any low self-esteem or resentment and guilt in your life and your mind. This extraordinary step, like someone who goes to give up smoking, they just, if they don't smoke, they feel great. And likewise, as you give up resentment to other people, ill will to other people, guilt and resentment towards yourself, that's incredible accomplishment. So like repairing your broken limb, so that you can now walk very well. So that's the first limb of doing compassion. Second is limb of rejoicing. Rejoicing is that we have to do grateful. We should be grateful for everything, positively, appreciatively accept everything that we are going through, have gone through, all people in our lives. You should rejoice for what they are, and then you rejoice the quality of other great other people, great many generous people, community leaders, your nurse, your doctor, your neighbor, your mother, your sister. You should rejoice all of their qualities. This will stop you from developing jealousy against the equal or senior or junior. You will rejoice them all, and you will have this amazing daily dose of joyfulness because you learn to rejoice each morning and greet the sun. So that's a limb, second limb. Third limb is generating ultimate bodhicitta, that is to seeking to attain the ultimate bodhicitta, enlightenment, through realizing the emptiness. So that is that. Fourth is taking refuge in the triple gem. So refuge in the triple gem means when you truly and consciously, with this great degree of awareness, to value the triple gem and their benefit to us, and how much safer and kinder we have become ever since we found refuge in the triple gem, you therefore renew your refuge in the triple gem. That's the fourth one. Fifth is generating wishing bodhicitta. You renew your wish to attain enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. The sixth one is not just renewing wishing bodhicitta, but you actually undertake to put them into action through your words and deeds and thoughts as much as possible, as the bodhisattva should never forget the plight of sentient beings. And the seventh is whatever merit there is accrued from doing the above, all of these too, you will dedicate for the benefit of all sentient beings. So now, having explained the sevenfold prayer a little bit, you should therefore recite the sevenfold prayer. I take refuge in the triple gem and confess each and every sin negative deeds. I rejoice the virtue deeds of all beings. Keep in mind Buddha's enlightenment. In the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, I take refuge in enlightenment. For the sake of others and my own, I shall cultivate wishing bodhicitta, and with excellent engaging bodhicitta, I shall invite all beings as my guests. I shall practice excellent conduct of the 6 paramitas and dedicate the benefit of all beings. I take refuge in the triple gem and confess all the negative deeds, rejoice the virtue deeds of all beings, keep in mind the Buddha's enlightenment. Ultimate bodhicitta, in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, I take refuge in enlightenment. For the sake of others, my own, I shall cultivate bodhicitta. With excellent bodhicitta, I shall invite all beings as my guests. I shall practice excellent conduct 6 paramitas, dedicate the benefit of all beings. I take refuge in the triple gem and confess all the negative deeds. I rejoice the virtue deeds of being, keep in mind enlightenment all Buddha. In the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, I take refuge in enlightenment. For the sake of others, my own, I shall cultivate bodhicitta. And with excellent bodhicitta, I shall invite all beings as my guests. I shall practice excellent conduct 6 paramitas and dedicate the merit to benefit all sentient beings. So with this we now have concluded the 7-fold prayer and purify mental continuum. Now in order to make an uncommon request, you join your hands at the heart and repeat after me these words. Oh gracious, glorious Guru, the embodiment of the Buddhas of the past, present and future, please bestow upon me the Tara, the destroyer adversity, black Tara empowerment. Please bestow upon me the black Tara empowerment. Please bestow upon me the black Tara empowerment. So having made the request, this has concluded all the necessary preparations for the empowerment. Now to begin the main empowerment, you shall stay very present, and there are 3 empowerments. The first is the empowerment of the body, second is empowerment of speech, third is empowerment of mind. When we say empowerment, is you have to have this amazing awareness how to use your body in a very meaningful, benevolent way to benefit others. Right now we are often unable to do anything useful to your body, to good to others, but instead you're doing silly things through your physical violence and greed and desire, and all these things are making ourselves to use our body, physical energy in the wrong way. So here to receive the power to mobilize and take greater ownership and dignity in how you use your physical energy, you need to receive the booster to your body, booster to your bodily fitness. So of the 3 empowerment, the first is the empowerment of the body. For this, as you show great devotion, you should try to feel great devotion to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and then the lineage, and then teacher in the form of black Tara. As you show great mental devotion towards the Guru in the form of the black Tara, from the heart of the teacher Tara, rays of light issues and strikes to the shrine, and from the shrine and the teacher heart rays, many rays of light issue and touches your body, touches your crown to the toes everywhere, and mainly inspires you. As soon as your mind feels the effect of the being in the presence of the black Tara, it purifies all your negative karma you have accumulated since beginner's lifetime, obscuration, bad habits, and body, speech, mind, all of these together, your gross physical body, the bone, the flesh, the skin, all just your psychophysical organs becomes a ball of light. There is nothing whatsoever gross remaining left. Only is a ball of blue light. And then as you show great devotion to the teacher in the form of black Tara, and as his teacher is the mantra almost both, everything that exists in the entire samsara and nirvana, good and bad, high and low, ups and downs, all these things do not really independently exist whatsoever. So they are all empty by nature. So therefore, visualize that all things vanish all your past, all your suffering, all your habits, all vanish into emptiness. It is from that state of emptiness you visualize these yellow 8-petal lotus and the sun disk. So you should visualize this relative bodhicitta and ultimate bodhicitta represented by the lotus, yellow lotus, and the moon sun disk. On top of that is seed syllable 2, which is the seed syllable 2 of black Tara, and a rays of light issues, honors enlightened ones, touches and heals all sentient beings. Finally, all the rays of light reabsorb into syllable 2, and then you instantly manifest as a black Tara wearing a yellow cloak, and you have a very wrathful looking hair design that is all upraised. You have one face and a wrathful face and 4 arms. Your first right hand is holding a wheel of Dharma. Second is holding a sword. Your 2 left hand, first one is holding a vajra supported by a top of a lotus, and then second left hand is a threatening gesture. So in this way, try to have a self-visualization of being black Tara. So visualizing this, and your body is covered in a heavenly scarves, you are so slightly wrathful, and so you visualize that. And then, in order to invoke the wisdom being, now you are the symbolic being, Samaya Sattva, wrathful, the black Tara. As the rays of light shine from you, she express devotion, the teacher, and then from both of their hearts goes invoked the transcendental wisdom being, the Aya, what you call Jnana Sattva of the Tara who destroys all the adversity, the black Tara, manifests and absorbs in many sizes into yourself, into your mind stream, and you become completely saturated by the blessings. So from your forehead, from your heart, from your throat, as well as all the other 6 sense doors, relevant seed syllable radiate issues of light and invokes all the wisdom being. And so as I recite this mantra, as I ring the bell, at that time imagine the transcendental wisdom being aspect of Tara, the destroyer of all the adversities, absorb into you inseparably like water poured into water. You are truly boosted and augmented by the possession you experience by the Holy Spirit of black Tara. Tojo bodale ne juzum gu chewari rabzang parva medzang dinazang yeranam la chabava dunjela kawabava de sipse nizu de me ju jinjela be meba dembo na wanzo mandare du dar Through this you receive the holy body empowerment of black Tara. This means your body do not have any lingering habits of bad habits, as well as no illness. Your body feels so boosted by the Tara's qualities. You shall never resort to harming violently to any sentient beings. You will exercise complete restraint from physical aggression to sentient beings. You are blessed, you change instead to look after sentient sentient beings and who are afraid or insecure, you are able to give them help and kindness and help. In the meantime, you receive the formal permission to meditate in the form of black Tara, and the seed of Nimanaka is sown into men to continue. Now, in order to receive the speech blessings, for this you visualize the teacher in the form of black Tara. At heart sits a moon. Heart is a moon disc. On top of the moon disc you sit syllable 2, surrounded by a 10-syllable mantra. And this mantra roses comes from the teacher, and then issues from his mouth and comes into your mouth, and then it gives you the oral transmission of the mantra. It unveils, goes into your heart chakra, and then it unveils the mantra rosaries in your heart. So in this way, you're going to receive the oral transmission of this mantra. Now, in So, through this recitation, through the first recitation, it just unveils the mantra roses into your heart. Second, it infuses the equal blessings of the resultant Tara. Third, it becomes stabilized, and through this you have now received the oral transmission of a mantra. Now strewing some flowers, imagining that you are doing so, you make the request. The request is, "Oh, Blessed One, having given me the blessing, please consecrate this, please consecrate this, please consecrate." As a result of you making the request, teacher Tara receives the mantra flower garlands you have offered, and then teacher blesses them and turns them into mantra garland, and whilst staying this prayer, he strews the mantra garland around your neck. So those of you who have already mala in your possession, you should hold the mala. Imagine that the mala that you have now becomes a genuine, fresh, blessed mala. With this in mind, teacher invokes through this radiation energy that you have experienced receiving, you have received the holy speech blessings of black Tara, and it has completely eradicated any habits and wrong ways that you tend to use your speech. You no longer have those habits. You don't have a sharp tongue, you don't have an uncaring mouth, but your mouth is so tamed as you have a big surgery and you feel so good. Yeah, through this speech empowerment, you totally have a power to mind your lips, teeth, tongue, palate, all 5 places of articulation. You have complete power. Instead, you have the amazing ability to say the right things, to heal, to soothe, to inspire, to mediate, and to turn the wheel of Dharma. May you say only thing that is kind and that is healing. May you never resort to verbal aggression or anything like that. So with this in mind, you have received the oral transmission of mantra, and you should make a mental commitment to not only hold the Tara as a deity, but start to recite this mantra. So that concludes the second empowerment. Now the third empowerment is you need to meditate. For this you sit upright as you show great devotion to the teacher in the black Tara form, and then teacher's heart issues many radiant, many kind, vicious prayers shine from his heart, as well as touches the shrine. Shrine Tara also radiate, so you have to raise the light shining from the teacher and shrine towards you, and goes through you, goes firstly to the southern Potala realm. It implores the Tara's resultant mind and invokes Tara, and so what you see is you can see many Utpala flowers, manifestation of black Tara, who are actually wisdom being of the non-conceptual mind of the meditative state of the black Tara is now absorbed into you. So as I recite the mantra, recite these prayers, please stay very present to experience reception of these transmissions. Imagine through this you have regained your consciousness. You no longer have the same bad thoughts, ill will, resentment, judgmental, greedy, resentful, mean thoughts anymore, because you lost all of those during the empowerment. Instead, you regain your consciousness to become so aware and cognizant of your thoughts and never doing ill will and resentment, wrong view. So to this, imagine you have no longer any residual thoughts or views or opinions or feelings, gut, or eradicate. You feel so light and bright. Your heart is instead filled with infinite loving kindness and compassion and contentment and gratitude and loving kindness, gentleness towards all beings. So you will see all sentient beings as your children, sentient beings, mother-like sentient beings. Never otherwise. No distinction should be made. Should not discriminate who is who, but see them all as your mother sentient beings. So with this in mind, you have now received the holy mind empowerment of the black Tara. You no longer have any residual behaviors of the past self, and in order not to revisit that, you do your daily meditation on the Tara and meditation in general, and so you will be greatly blessed. So here we have now concluded the actual empowerment of black Tara. And so the necessary thing we have to do is first you have to make a promise to hold the vows. Because the main thing is that people tend to sometimes fail to keep up their promise. So here your ability to keep up your promise is renewed and reset, so to speak. And so therefore you should repeat the promise. I promise to pay heed to the teachings of Buddha. I promise to hold the Buddhist precepts, and I promise never to forget the right view of Bodhicitta, and I promise never to forget the right view on Bodhicitta. I promise never to forget Bodhicitta and the right view. So with this we have now concluded the empowerment. Now you make a thanksgiving mandala offering, which is the same prayer, but here you're really realizing how to overcome your own, vanquish your own adversities, real adversity, your enmity, your ill will, your resentment, your self-pity, and your aggressive towards yourself. These are very not useful. These are really more harm can be caused by this, by any external enemy. So therefore, imagine that you have this incredible acquisition of mentality from tonight's empowerment. You experience growth and maturity and sanity. So may you all remain and hold your promise in your own heart, never to ill will, never to do greed, never to resent, and physically, verbally, mentally, and you keep that as your yidam. So here we make the mandala offering as a thanksgiving, because you are able to practice the above mentioned teachings, you will really feel empowered by attending ceremony like tonight, and you have the ability to forgive others that previously you didn't. And these are the kind of significant change you will witness during this empowerment and afterwards. So now we're going to do the thanksgiving and mandala offering.
Đất này tịnh hóa nước thơm trải đầy hoa, trang hoàng quanh núi Tu Di, bốn châu cùng nhật nguyệt. Con quán tưởng thành cõi Phật và dân cúng dường, nguyện hết thảy chúng sinh thọ hưởng
Commencing from this time, I offer myself to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. I try my best to practice holy Dhamma. May you take me as your disciple. May you take me as your disciple. May you take me as your disciple. So with this we have concluded the seventh Tara, the destroyer of adversities. How does Tara destroy the adversities? Tara doesn't do it for you, but you are able to see all your adverse and objects of anger or whatever negativity. They are only projection of your own deluded mind. They really do not do that from their own mind. And they are very good and kind people. So by being able to do that, you will see yourself how you destroy your inner adversities. Until you destroy inner adversity, it will manifest externally. So therefore you need to stop the root cause of the illness, and that is the real conquest, real crushing of adversities. You know, being able to put someone in jail, being able to convict somebody is no victory. That is not conquest. That is just aggression. And aggression does not become rewarded. So therefore it's important to know the qualities of Tara who destroy the adversities. What does it mean? Means now we need to apply that into our life, how best we conduct in the spirit of this teaching. Then you truly feel empowered, boosted, ability to do that. So with this now we will stop here and have a 10-minute break, after which I will do the oral transmission, followed by an short explanation of this practice. Thank you, everyone. The long of the sadhana first, and then followed by the explanation of the sadhana. So long as the reading transmission
Bây giờ là
of
thầy
the
sẽ đọc
Sadhana
nghi
and
quỹ để khẩu
Brethren.
truyền nghi quỹ cho quý
Đó
vị.
là đồ năng cái đồ nhiên bây giờ mình thấy tuyên gì cho những người bạn làm adam nó cho đồ sang cho mình. Tam biết cho nó cho bảo vệ cái nên nó cho 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 lên được rồi xem cho tam biết điều. Tam chỉ đó đồ sang cái mà đồ để cho để mà có mà nhiều là zoom cái gì mà giờ đồ đó nó nó ba me go ye ba sa je se to ye on ben za zaman za na mon go re na ma ya da za ba re ba ar ga ma ni bi ben de wa yap da kon jo zum la da je je zo je zo sim je de de wa zo ze me je go shu ne ya da ja na me zo ma do ma ga la ba ne be ma da ren de yin go jin de ban le be ma sa ba ni me de la Dele dule roman na kuno na mo da sa sa na ma da mo gwe yin de ba ja ye je dang bo ta ko lo da ni ve ra de da yo ba dang ba be ma la ne be do je da yin be de dun de ba sha yan jang ge da ba sha yan jang je da je shu ba da je na za dan sa je da mi ge de yan de zhao ni ma do le zi ro dan je so ko ma za man zao bo wang ge le ko de yong be za sa ma di wa da mi da ngong ba ngo za du da ma za mi ne so xi re hong xie zong yi be be jiang gu de ju la ma ya le ba le ten ye de bo jin to gan da jing da yin me wo da de du so be xie ne jun de da sin shong de mo re ba za do so ge wan de yin do da je de ma de yin do zi ya ma le ba de sa lang ga ba ra jo. So that concludes the reading transmission of the Sadhana, Black Sadhana Tara. Now I'm going to do the short teaching on this. So those of you who have been listening to the Sadhana explanation of the past 6 Sadhana, they're all same structure. And a slightly different iconography of the Tara and the qualities. Otherwise, the structure of the sadhana remains same. Structure of sadhana is divided into 3 parts: preliminary, main sadhana, and the conclusion. Preliminary means preparation. So you have to first of all do all your preparation for whatever you do. Yes. So if you're making a cake, you have to firstly you have to make the preparation of the cake, get all the raw materials, right amount, and so on, and then you mix them. Once you mix them, then you actually bake the cake, and then you eat them. So the main part of the cake is eating the cake. And then at the end, you just do clean up, Likewise, and then you say thank you to the cook and rejoice. Likewise, here in the doing sadhana, you have to first make the preparation. What makes the what is constitute doing the Tara sadhana, particularly of this. This is a Tara, VΑΔI-PRAMARDANI-TΑRΑ, which is the Tara that actually destroys all adversity. She is the destroyer of all adversity. Here, it of course gives the impression that Tara is some kind of theistic goddess who go and remove your external adversity. That's not the case. It's a very Buddhist thing to teach that all adversity is your afflictive and emotional and karmic adversities that manifest externally. But only way to conquer them, vanquish them, is yourself owning up to those things and not to create the causes. So to do that, you have to first do the preliminaries. Preliminary consists of a general preliminary, a specific preliminary. General preliminary is the refuge and the bodhicitta, which I will not need to repeat. The specific preliminary is a cultivation of the accumulation of merit and wisdom. You accumulate merit in order to attain Rupakaya and to purify afflictive and karmic obscuration. You accumulate wisdom in order to attain Dharmakaya and to remove the cognitive obscuration. So that is the main reason. So therefore you have to do the the preliminaries to accumulate merit first. To accumulate merit, you visualize that in an instant, from the black sea silver 2, at the heart of oneself, the Blessed One, light rays radiate from this, and then it invoke with an assembly of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas before you as a shrine. This is the dhyana, this is the concentration. And then you have to do this with mantra Om Vajrasamadza, accompanied by a gesture Om Vajrasamadza. So physically, verbally, mentally, you need to do that together and invoke. Then after you invoke, the purpose of the merit field is so that you can cultivate the merit on the sowing the seed in the field. So the field is the enlightened ones, and you got to sow the devotion. Devotion, sowing the seed of devotion will yield you the crop of humility and joy and happiness. Because if you don't have humility, you have a lot of weeds growing in you, and you don't enjoy any benefit. A lot of judgment, a lot of competitiveness, a lot of self-esteem, a lot of jealousy exists because you don't have the merit of humility. And so, or generosity. So first of all, you need to accumulate merit of generosity by making 8 offerings. The 8 offerings are drinking water, feet washing water, flower, incense, lamp, perfume, food, and music, respectively. These 8 are offered, firstly, drinking water to the mouth, feet washing to the feet, and flower to the head, incense to the nose, lamp to the eyes, and perfume to the chest, and food to the mouth, and sound to the ears. So these are offerings made to. You make the offering through mantra by saying Argam, Padyam, Pushpe, Dupe, Aloke, Gandhe, Navidi, Shabda, respectively, by inserting in the Omaya Tarasa Parivara and then Argam and Ahum Soha at the end of each offering. So that's the mantra. Mudra is you do the hand gestures by doing the lotus round, and then you do the relevant hand gestures of the drinking water is done about this, with the middle finger protruding out. This is the gesture pouring water from a jug. Same goes with pouring water to wash the feet. Same second, third gesture is flower. Flower, we just do this, the blossom, kind of petal, lotus about the blossom. And incense is, mudra is like this. Lamp mudra is thumbs up. And perfume mudra is like this, as you're rubbing off perfume, and food mudra is a hand gesture like this, as you're giving offerings, and the music is as you're touching, you're beating gongs. So in this way, you make this 8 offering physically by mudra, verbally by mantra, and mentally by visualization, meditation. In order to gain the knowledge of Dharma, which is the best water to quench the thirst. So that's the drinking water to quench the thirst. The purpose, the qualities of you make this offering is how come you do these 8 offerings. How does that accumulate merit? How is it that it makes you positive change? So by doing the drinking water offering, you have this amazing sense of contentment, how true the Dharma is, and how you're so studious with the study of Dharma. And this means you have the merit of incredible sense of contentment. It really, knowledge of the Dharma really satisfies you. It is unmatched by anything. There is no better knowledge or drink to have than the knowledge of the Dharma. So this is the merit you need to try to seek in your everyday life. Second is that with the knowledge, the one hazard is arrogance, pride. You wash the dust on the feet of the pride, and so you don't have any dust of pride, but instead you have the amazing humility. More knowledgeable you are, more human, more humble you are. So that is for the feet washing water. And the flower, quality of flower is that you're always trying to see how better you can be today. Say last year you went very crook towards your mother. This year you are much more gentle towards her, more generous towards next year, more patient to her next year, and then more kind and more compassionate to her ever since. These are the flowers that we need to blossom. Of course, externally we may take a bouquet of flower, put on the shrine, or give some flower to some monks or teachers or friends, but real flower is you need to blossom with those good qualities. Humility, if you are arrogant, generosity, if you are miserly, these are real flowers. So you are seeking the positive merit of humility, generosity. This quality must blossom. And then offering of flower followed by incense. Incense is offering of sincerity. If you're sincere and you're pure, you're not sort of try to say one thing and do another, but you try your best from your heart, and you say this with great aroma of sincerity is the best incense. Okay. Then the lamp is offering for light. That is that you always remember the teachings of the 4 seals of the Dharma, and it just completely lit you up. And you remember the benefit of bodhicitta and the wisdom of emptiness. It just lifts you up, how much brighter you are, because you do not stay stuck in the wrong dark views of the past, because you have let there be light. You make the offering to light, to Tara, and then you yourself has become so bright and light. And then you have lots of reservoir of faith in the Dharma, in the law of karma, and how true the Buddha's teaching is. You don't have words to express your gratitude, how true, how panacea like, how medicine like the Dharma is. And this kind of confidence is real perfume. Perfume usually try to keep us good smell long, but faith is the best smell. It not comes in a bottle, by the way. It has to be cultivated by your confidence in the teachings. That's the best perfume. And then the food is best perfume. Food is practice of Dharma. Study, meditate, recite the sadhanas, sit down quietly, meditate. These are the real food, you know. People are eating a lot but still starving. Something's totally missing because they don't know how to meditate. If they learn to meditate, many of the problems get solved in the meditation. You don't need to go on the other side of the city to meet a Jungian therapist or tarot reader or some healer or something like that. You just meditate and it solves, it clarifies. So may all beings die not of starvation. So you should feed yourself daily meditation. That is the real merit. And the last is music. The music is, best music is of course saying kind things towards other people, about other people, respectful towards other people, caring towards other people, speaking the qualities of Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, the Triple Gem, Bodhisattvas, singing in praise of the teaching of impermanence, how true it is. These are the real music.
Đó thực sự là âm nhạc thật sự.
Of course,
Và tất nhiên,
may people practice right
và cầu
speech.
nguyện
That's
cho
what
mọi
prayer
người có
is.
được
So in this way, you make the 8
và
offerings
như
to
vậy là chúng ta
Tara
cúng dường
physically
được 8
by
món,
doing
cúng
the
dường tới
mudra,
Đức Độ Mẫu Tara,
verbally by reciting the
với
mantra,
thân khẩu
mentally
ý của
by
chúng ta.
visualizing the offerings,
Chúng ta
and
quán
then
tưởng
these
phẩm vật
meanings
cúng
I
dường
just mentioned.
và chúng ta
So
tụng chú,
these
chúng
are
ta
real
bắt ấn giống
teachings,
như mà thầy vừa nói.
explanations,
Và đó thực
teaching.
sự là giáo pháp,
People
đó là sự
do
giải thích giáo pháp.
want the empowerment
Mọi
of the
người đều thọ
deities
nhận các
as
quán cảnh
some
của Bổn
kind of
Tôn.
immediate power of the teacher. Some disciples, due to their faith and teachers' genuineness, can experience miraculous experiences, but most important miracle is ability to change your mentality, and that you no longer have the same opinion towards him or her. As a result of that, you have no ill will, no doubt. You just feel liberated, don't you? That is the real kind of merit. So anyway, you make the 8 offerings, and then that is followed by sevenfold prayer. Sevenfold prayer I already explained. The sevenfold 7 limbs. Each of these 7 limbs, confession, rejoicing, meditating on ultimate bodhicitta, refuge the triple gem, generating, wishing bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta, dedication of merit. These 7 constitute 7 limbs. If you are not, any of the limbs are intact, you are crippled, you are disabled. And why? We are disabled by guilt and judgment, resentment. So we need to, we need to restore our crippledness by practicing confession. If you practice confession to someone, then you wouldn't judge others as harshly as you have been doing. Even they have faults, but you don't judge them harshly because you have the merit not to. So therefore, your limb is not broken, your limb is totally fixed. So limb of compassion. Likewise, rejoicing, you don't do jealousy, you don't do loneliness, you just do rejoicing. That's amazing limb. You can't have a limb that is better than rejoicing limb. You might have both the legs, you can run fast, but so what? If you don't know how to rejoice things. So therefore, limb of rejoicing, and so on. So I would not go over the 7 limb prayer. And then that is followed by the 4 immeasurables: immeasurable loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. If you took a liberty every day to meditate on loving kindness for a while, compassion for a while, joyfulness and equanimity, respectively, in that order, you will feel enormous benefit in your psychophysical cognition. You can see that you no longer held the opinions, views, and ill will towards yourself or towards others any more than the past. So you have regained your consciousness. So there is immeasurable benefit from loving kindness, joy, compassion, joy, equanimity. So that's the meditation on the 4 immeasurables. So that concludes the accumulation of merit. Then the second comes the accumulation of wisdom by meditating on emptiness. Contemplate that all phenomena that appear and exist, means samsara and nirvana, in both samsara and nirvana, are empty by their own nature and then reside. You should think of that everything is empty. Empty doesn't mean nihilistic, non-existent. Empty means not independently, inherently, and unitarily existing. So you know that they are not. So everything is dependent on one from many causes, conditions. They are not eternally there. They are not created by one cause. They are not created by non-cause. But ultimately, all that is that means everything is empty, is spaciousness. So here now begins the main meditation. Main meditation consists of generating oneself as what we call Samaya Sattva. So you do that by deproliferating yourself into emptiness, and out of the emptiness, the yellow lotus and the sun disk. On top of that, the sea slope 2, and then you manifested black wrathful Tara, 1 face, 4 arms, and you wear yellow clothing. You're fierceful, and your hair's upraised. Your right hand holds two right hand holds a wheel and a sword. And wheel means turning the wheel of Dharma. Sword is giving you the wisdom. Your second two left hand are holding a threatening gesture, and also holding a lotus up with a vajra. This is just a threatening gesture. And likewise, you bless all your 6 and 9 places of the body. For instance, you visualize on the eyes, you visualize Tārā Soha, that is white in color. On the ear, there is blue Tārā Soha, and on the nose, you visualize yellow Tūrā Soha. And then on the tongue you visualize red Tu Soha, and then in your heart you visualize blue Re Swaha, and then you visualize the green Tarani Soha on the crown. So in this way you visualize 9 parts of the body are all covered in the 6 syllables. Anyway, so you visualize these, and then the rays of light radiate from the syllable Hung, and then unveils, invoke all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas together with all the 21 Taras before you. So this is called invocation of the wisdom being, Tara. As soon as wisdom, Holy Spirit, Tara is invoked, then you ask them to absorb into you to become one. So that's what Za, Hung, Vam, Ho. So up till now you are just a practitioner Tara. Now that this Tara is fused with the enlightened Tara, and then these are now do the gestures of completion. Jnana Sattva and Samaya Sattva merge inseparably. The Jnana Sattva is the wisdom being, or the Holy Spirit, and Samaya Sattva is the symbolic being, the Tara that we've been thinking about. So, and then what do? Then the 5 empowerment deities are invoked by saying Om Vajrasamanza, and then all the 5 Tathagatas appear before you, to whom then you ask them to give you empowerment. And then they give you the empowerment by saying the verse, just like when the Buddha was born, his body was bathed by the gods. Through this water and pure and divine, the Tathagata bathe you. So saying, Om Sarva Tathagata Abhishekata Samaya Shiraya Hung, you receive the empowerment. After result of receiving the empowerment bestowed by holy water poured from the vase, your body is cleansed, all your stains, physical, verbal, mentals are purified, little bit of water overflows from your crown, becomes a Ratna Sambhava to adorn your crown. Because this black wrathful Tara belongs to that Tara. Now you have become the Tara, the fusion of Samaya Sattva and Jnana Sattva. Now you should become the Samadhi Sattva. That means you should stay. You should hold that meditative concentration in yourself being Tara. And by reciting the one verse, I bow to you who totally conquers others' evil design, tread and pay, who dwells in the midst of the fiercely burning flames, who while trampling with the left bend left leg, outstretch right leg, left leg, sorry. So with this mind focusing on the sea syllable 2, surrounded by the Tārā Soha, and all you have to visualize Tārā Ture, Sarva Beya, Avarana, Swaha. So in this way you visualize, recite the mantra 21 times. If you recite the short one, you recite 108 as a daily practice. So with that you now conclude. Your conclusion of sadhana concludes by saying, O Bhagavati, you address to Tara. Tara is addressed Bhagavati. Bhagavati is the female form of Bhagavan, meaning the she enlightened one. O Bhagavati, please please bestow the common and uncommon attainments upon me. So the common means worldly, long life, prosperity, success, and so on. Uncommon means enlightenment, ultimate enlightenment. So your request is twofold. One is temporary allay obstacles, attract all the right causes is a practice of this, and then ultimately to attain uncommon bodhisattva, uncommon the level. That's the perfect enlightenment. So with this, then you come to the conclusion: light has issued from your heart and causing the lotus and sandisk and all the things that you are sitting on to dissolve, absorb into yourself, and then you also dissolve from the feet to the upper body and legs, all dissolves into heart chakra, and that itself dissolve into you, and then you can either stay in that one state of non-duality, or you can dissolve. In any case, when you rise from that dissolution, then you dedicate the merit by saying this, by this merit may I accomplish quickly the stage of Aryatara, so that I can place upon this stage all beings without exception. So with this in mind, you do the dedication of merits. In this way, you are able to practice your sadhana, not only from the beginning till like that, but when you are out and about, not reciting and doing the Tara prasadana, but you should always take the role of mother towards all sentient beings. No matter how difficult those sentient beings, always try to nurture them, try not to be aggressive to them, be patient with them, and be the true mother of peace, Mother Tara. And don't try to always pray to external Tara as she's going to appear and give you boon. That's really neither here nor there. Real thing is you need the kind of confidence in the teachings. You really know how the teachings is so accurate, so true, and with this in mind, you will be able to practice Dharma very regularly. So with this, we will now conclude the wrathful black Tara sadhana explanation. The purpose of this explanation is so that when you are reciting the practice, you try to remember some of these meanings, how to put your thoughts, words, deeds, and experiences into one, unimpeded or distracted by anyone. So may you be able to do that. So thank you very much, everyone. Now we're going to conclude here by dedication of merits. Oh, by the merit, the deva, and the gehomnes, meile, verhedo, veromde, oshana, patadesene, herenda, mahayana, dije, vadeva, meredaya, mebe, megas delavasa, tehoda, mahayana, dije, kareje, manjushinyavade, azama, tabadradilaiva, walove, avadehzambo, ashadedege, odemere, medehexelem bodhijeda, tebe, perenayadaza, perhasbimbo, mehedingri, vrelevedadi, generation, medabraja, vyoemdene, tebe, perenayadaza, perhasbimbo, mehedingri, vrelevedadi, generation. Okay, everyone. Thank
xin
you
cảm
very
ơn tất cả
much.
các quý vị
So
đạo
here
hữu.
we conclude
Và
this
chúng ta kết
month's
thúc cái phần
TARA empowerment,
quán đảnh
and
hai độ mẫu Tara.
this also wraps up
Và chúng ta
the
kết thúc
snake year.
chúng ta kết
We
thúc
don't
năm
have
Ất Tỵ.
really, I don't have any particular
Và
message
thầy không có bất cứ một cái
at
thông
the
điệp
end
cụ
of
thể
the year
nào
because
cho năm
every
tới.
day there is end of the
ngày
day.
thì đều là một
So
ngày kết thúc một
why
ngày.
you have to lump
Do vậy là
365 days
365
into
ngày
one end when you can end
cũng
every
là
day
trong tay của chúng
without
ta.
any resentment,
Chúng ta
without
không
any
có bất cứ một cái tâm sân giận,
childishness,
không có
and
một
that
cái
is
tâm
a
hành
very
xử
good
trẻ
way
con
to
nào.
farewell your
Và
day,
chúng ta
and then you
luôn
can have good sleeping
có
yoga.
một cái ngày rất là tốt đẹp và chúng ta có thể ngủ ngon.
Why keep up all the
Và
backlog of
nếu
one
như
day
mà
to
chúng
second
ta
and third,
giữ
all the way
những cái điều không
365
hay
days?
của ngày này
So
sang ngày khác thì trong 365 ngày chúng ta sẽ có một cái
like
năm
to
không tốt đẹp.
meditate on the
Và chúng ta
momentariness of
hãy thiền
impermanence
quán về sự
rather
vô
than
thường.
the one yearness.
Chúng ta
One
không
year
thiền
then
quán
things
cả một
change,
năm,
you know.
mà chúng ta thiền quán về
We
sự
should
vô thường
meditate
của
as
từng khoảnh
Buddhists,
khắc.
try to meditate on the subtle impermanence.
Chúng ta phải hiểu về cái
The
sự vô
more you are
thường một
able
cách,
to
cách
remember
vi tế.
subtle impermanence,
Bất cứ một khi nào mà
that
chúng ta hãy
much
ghi nhớ cái sự
shorter your
vô
suffering
thường
will last,
vi tế.
and
Mỗi một giây khắc
that
trôi
much
qua
your
thì là
attachment
cái quỹ thời gian của
will
chúng ta càng ít
last.
đi,
It will not
và cuộc
last.
đời
Very
của chúng
good.
ta không còn kéo
And
dài nữa.
no hope,
Và
clinging,
chúng ta không
grasping
bám chấp, không chấp
also will
thủ.
be as short as the day,
Và
as short
chúng
as
ta
an
hiểu rằng
hour,
mỗi một ngày
as
trôi
short
qua thì
as
thời
a
gian của
few
chúng ta
hours.
lại ngắn lại.
And Mahayana Bodhisattva practitioner
Với
should
cái việc
review
thực
his or
hành
her
giáo pháp đại thừa, giáo
mind
pháp
and
kim cương
thoughts
thừa,
every
cái suy nghĩ của chúng ta
every say 6 hours, you know,
mỗi
and so or every 4 hours.
Mỗi-
4 hours. If you do the 6 sessions,
Nếu
3
như mà
times
chúng ta
during
có
the
thể
day,
thực
3
hành
times
3
night. That
lần
is so
và
that
trong
you
ban ngày, 3
you
lần vào
realize,
buổi chiều tối,
alas, it's
tức
no
là
more
6
the
thời
early
một ngày.
morning. Now it's
Chúng ta
mid-morning.
thực hành từ buổi sáng
Alas, no
sớm.
longer is there this
Chúng ta
mid-morning.
phải
Now
nhớ
it's
rằng cuộc đời của
afternoon.
chúng ta
Now
không
it's
còn
late
kéo dài
afternoon.
nữa.
And
Và
so
bất cứ khi
you
nào mà
don't
chúng ta
carry
có thể
on.
thực hành được thì chúng ta
In
hãy
the
thực hành.
monastic Buddhist tradition,
Trong truyền
they
thống
do
của
a
Phật
rainy
giáo
season
tu viện,
retreat.
chúng ta
When
thường
they
nhập
do
thất.
the rains
Khi mà
retreat
chúng ta nhập
in the
thất vào
Tibetan
mùa mưa,
tradition,
mùa hè,
the master of discipline
thì đạo sư
every afternoon
vào buổi chiều
interrupts the session and bow down 3 times.
và chúng ta
Then
phải
he
quỳ
folds his
xuống lạy 3 lần.
robe very well, and then he announces everyone
Và
that
Ngài
everything is
thông báo
impermanent.
rằng
Now
nhắc đi nhắc lại
today
rằng là mọi
is
thứ đều là vô thường.
say
Và
today is the 4th day of the lunar month, which is the 3rd month of the spring of this year. Buddha said you should remember impermanence every
Đức
day.
Phật dạy chúng ta
That
rằng
those
dù
who
chúng ta đang
remember
ở ngày nào,
impermanence are
tháng nào của
blessed
năm
by
đi
me.
nữa thì chúng ta luôn luôn
And
phải
those
ghi nhớ sự
who
vô
remember
thường.
impermanence are
Chúng ta luôn luôn phải
prophesied by
ghi
me.
nhớ sự vô thường. Đức
And
Phật
so
đã
on
dạy
has
về
been said.
sự vô thường.
So
Do
I
vậy,
like to suggest that
tôi thấy đề xuất rằng là
anyone who wanted to
bất cứ
make
một
a
ai
end of year resolution, they should
muốn
learn to let go and
đón
meditate
nhận một
on
năm mới thì
impermanence,
hãy
not get attached to
buông bỏ
even
những
good
cái điều không
ones,
hay của quá khứ,
let
của
alone
năm cũ,
become
và hãy
aversive
chào
to the
đón một
negative
năm mới tốt
ones.
đẹp
Try
với
to
một cái
grow
tâm
up
thế tích cực
and meditate
và
on
cố
the
gắng thực
momentary
hành ở
impermanence.
mỗi khoảnh khắc
So
về phán chiếu
therefore,
về
like
sự
the
vô thường,
fire snake year is
giống
now
như là cái năm
only
rằm
3 days left, and after
trôi
that
qua
there is no
và chỉ còn một ít ngày
fire
nữa
snake
còn lại
at
thôi.
all. The fire snake becomes fire horse.
Và bây giờ từ năm rắn lửa trở thành năm
So
năm
with this, I like to thank everyone who has supported
ngựa lửa.
each other through
Mỗi
the
một
Sakya
chúng ta,
friends, and also
Pháp
you
hữu
do lots of
Sakya,
work, don't you,
chúng ta đã
in
làm
your
được rất nhiều việc hữu
community,
ích
family
cho cộng
circles.
đồng của chúng
Try
ta.
to be kind, try
Chúng ta
to
hãy
be
cố gắng luôn luôn
gentle,
tử tế,
try to
luôn
be
luôn nhẹ nhàng,
forgiving
luôn luôn
and
tha thứ,
non-judgmental to each
không
other.
phán xét
These
với
are
những người khác.
incredible
Và đó
gift
là
and
những
the
cái món
medicine
quà tốt
of the
nhất, những cái
Dharma.
phương thuốc tốt nhất của giáo pháp.
And so
Và
with
như
this,
vậy,
I like
thầy
you to
thầy
stay
xin
safe in your thoughts and words and
hãy
deeds.
an trú trong giây phút hiện tại
Remember,
và luôn
you
luôn
are
ghi nhớ
Tara.
chúng ta là Độ Mẫu Tara, chúng ta luôn luôn ghi nhớ chúng ta là HANH Độ Mẫu Tara phẫn nộ,
because you are going to consume everyone's fear,
và
because
chúng ta
they
sẽ
don't
tiêu diệt tất
exist,
cả những sự sợ hãi
even
của
in
chúng
the
sinh,
slightest from their own side.
và chúng ta sẽ tiêu diệt tất
If
cả
you
những
remember
kẻ thù của
that,
chúng ta.
then
Chúng ta ghi nhớ như vậy.
that is the mantra.
Đó chính là
Mantra
minh
means
chú có nghĩa
mantra
là gì?
is not just
Minh
a
chú
kind of
không
a
có
murmuring
nghĩa là
thing
những
to
thứ mà
murmur in
chúng ta lẩm
Sanskrit.
bẩm
Mantra
trong mồm,
means
không phải là
guarding
những
your
thứ viết
mind
bằng
from wrong
tiếng Phạn,
conceptions.
mà minh chú chính là sự
If
bảo
you
vệ
do
cho
that,
cái tâm thức
guard
của
your
chúng
mind
ta
from
khỏi
wrong
những cái suy nghĩ
conceptions
sai
such as
trái,
ill will,
sai lầm,
judgment,
và phán xét
sadness, worry,
những cái nỗi buồn,
anxiety,
những cái lo lắng,
that
những cái
is
sợ
Tara
hãi,
mantra
thì
already.
đó là minh chú.
And how many you want to recite?
Và dù
You
chúng
don't
ta
want to
tụng
forget
nhiều
that
đến như thế nào
thought.
nữa, nếu như mà chúng
You
ta
don't
quên
want
những
to
cái suy
count
nghĩ như
those
vậy,
thoughts, do you?
chúng ta có
You
thể
want
không
to keep
đếm được những suy nghĩ của chúng ta.
revalidating
Chúng
this
ta cần
wisdom
phải tái lập lại,
not to do ill will
không
and
có
to do
những cái
good
tà
will.
tâm, tà ý, mà
That
chỉ
is
có
the
những cái
real
thiện tâm,
mantra.
thiện ý mà thôi.
Even Tara,
Và
in
kể
how
cả
many
Độ Mẫu
different
Tara
forms
trong
and
rất nhiều hình tướng
colors
khác
and
nhau,
hand
trong rất
implements,
nhiều màu sắc
she
khác
just
nhau,
wanted to
trong rất
teach
nhiều
us,
cử chỉ khác nhau.
use those hand gestures and mudras and colors as teaching us to go back to the basics and remember impermanence, remember bodhicitta. That is the mantra of all mantras. Mantrayanists don't have to have necessarily wearing long prayer beads and have some kind of horn growing out of their turban. Some Vajrayanis are really acting like the village Ngakpas in Tibet, you know. And they put the shin bone here, or the bell here, drum here, and hanging around there as some form of a costume. Mantrayanists have to be very discreet. Externally, we should be very discreet. External behavior should be like the Pratimoksha. Secret, internal attitude was we should be mind. Secret Vajrayanis, we don't even say I'm Vajrayanis. But you use the deity of Tara to rescue you from those wrong views. Because Tara is a refuge, refuge in the triple gem as manifested in the form of Tara, the goddess. But when you identify yourself as Tara, you see that in everyone. If you do see yourself as a mother of five and who has this concern, that worry, that joy about the 5 children every day, you will have, as a result of being that mother, your whole story circles around those 5 little ones. And we need to extend our ability to be the mother of all sentient beings. And be gentle towards each other, because they don't know the right view. Even few who have heard it, they forget very easily. And so giving them the mantra is very useful. And slowly they recite the mantra, and then they say, why I'm reciting this mantra so many times? One day, a good teacher will say, the mantra recitation is really the walking stick. One day wish you don't need to do the walking stick, you can walk without the walking stick. So like that, you don't have to rely on always murmuring the mantra. Your thought is so pliant, so bodhicitta-centered intention and the right view, guarded cognitive view. If you have this, that is the real mantrayana. You are guarded from all wrong conceptions. Tara really. Tara mantra is to guard ourselves from wrong conception of samsaric, dualistic concepts and ideas. And so we need to see why the Tara sadhana is not just reading these texts, but Tara sadhana needs to incorporate into your kitchen sink level situations. And when you're stuck in the traffic, you need to remember the teaching, remember the mantra, and be patient with fellow motorists on the road, and be kind to each other. And don't entertain any negative thoughts about other drivers or other people. See them all stressed by the heavy burden of karma, responsibility to care for the children and family, and how many are really going through lots of tough times. And so you need to look into eyes of every sentient being. This is the real sadhana. Real Tara sadhana is bringing the gist of the Tara mantra and teachings into every life discreetly. And of course, if you have mala, you carry with you. You don't necessarily have to be so obviously trying to show as you have mala, as you count them every day, tapati. But of course, wearing mala is also a good thing, you know. At least it has some temporary function of not forgetting your practice and so on, you know. So there is, but most Vajrayana should keep your identity pretty discreet, and not necessarily reveal. Don't even talk about your practice, but just do it. Do it in everyday life situations. And of course, those who have good discipline to do formal practices regularly, they will see the benefit, how they can incorporate and employ that in their everyday life situations. If we do that, you can see how much corrected, gentler, kinder, and thoughtful you become. You become ever so mindful, like no other time. So Tara is an incredible mindfulness practice. She is the goddess of mindfulness. You know, these days people think mindfulness, mindful that. If you are mindful to treat all sentient beings as your children or your mother, that is mindfulness of all mindfulness. So there's a lot of distance between biological mother and children these days. That's sad, you know. So we need to reconnect with our mothers. If you have really received Tara empowerment, you need to reconnect with your mother and tell her how much you love her, and apologize your childish ways, and make her know that you do respect her, you do love her. Change your way that she knows that you mean it, and then this will liberate you from samsara of disharmony and guilt and resentment and ill will. See, this is the Tara empowerment. Purpose of the Tara empowerment is to patch up, to heal your mother, daughter, mother's son, mother, daughter, father, son, sibling, family relationship should be healed, and then you're truly protected from the wrong conception of ill will, judgment, resentment, guilt, blaming, all of that, because you are constantly reciting the mantra, because that's on your mind. And may your heart be filled with the blessings of the lineage of the SØRYAGUPTA, and particularly the wrathful Tara. You should be very, very wrathful towards yourself for not doing like this before until now. And then now make yourself do it. And see the witness. Be the witness. Be your own witness. The change you have made on the 15th of February.
Hôm nay là ngày 15 tháng 2 năm 2026 và chúng ta hãy bắt đầu thay đổi từ ngay giờ phút này. Thầy xin cảm ơn tất cả quý vị đạo hữu và
see you next time.
Thầy sẽ hẹn gặp lại quý vị vào các buổi học tiếp theo.
Thank you everyone.
Thầy xin cảm ơn tất cả quý vị đạo hữu. Chúng con xin được tri ân công đức của đạo sư đã ban quán đảnh và ban nghi quỹ, khẩu truyền nghi quỹ. Xin được tri ân công đức và tùy hỷ công đức, thọ nhận giáo pháp và thực hành giáo pháp của tất cả các quý vị đạo hữu. Hẹn gặp lại các quý vị đạo hữu trong các cái buổi
I express
pháp tiếp
our
theo.
deepest gratitude to our dear teacher Lama Chodak Rinpoche for the profound empowerment and practice explanation. The texts of Sadhana in each language are shared in the Zoom chat. Many thanks to all the translators. I would like to announce new next events planned for March. Rinpoche responded with kindness to a request from Sakya friends and agreed to give empowerment and teaching on March 7th and 8th, Saturday and Sunday, starting same time as today. These events will be dedicated to the 8th and 9th Taras from the tradition of the 21 Taras of the Indian Mahasiddha Suryagupta. The Zoom link will be different from today. Thank you so much, dear Rinpoche. Thank you, everyone. See you in March again in Sakya Friends Zoom. Thank you so much, dear Rinpoche.
Xin chúc các quý vị đạo hữu có thể đón một năm mới Bính Ngọ rất là vui vẻ, rất là bình an và rất là tinh tấn, và phát được Bồ Đề tâm cũng như là tâm yêu thương của Độ Mẫu Tārā đối với tất cả chúng sinh. Xin tùy hỷ công đức của tất cả quý vị đạo hữu và hẹn gặp lại quý vị đạo hữu vào trong các cái bài pháp tiếp theo.